Templates, they are time savers, and they can help us to craft the kinds of lessons and activities that we want our students to do. They work so well for remote learning. There's something that we can just hand students digitally through our learning management system. And the great thing is that we don't have to go scour teachers, pay teachers to find them. We can make our own. And there are lots of really great sources for finding them all over the web. And so that's what this video is all about today. So we're talking classroom templates in this video, how to find them, how to make them. And we want to welcome you into this video. Thanks so much for joining us. If you're here live with us, we want to say a special hello to you. Go ahead and use the chat to check in and tell us who you are and where you're from. We'd love to be able to give you a quick shout out. If you're watching this on the replay, we're so glad that you found us on YouTube or Facebook or wherever you found us. And we've got lots and lots of practical ideas and tips and tricks for you to use. So my name's Matt Miller. I'm the author of Ditch That Textbook. And I'm going to kick it over here to my partner in crime here. Holly, you want to say hello?
Hi, everyone. And I'm super excited today, Matt, about templates, because this is the thing I'm seeing teachers use the most. And a lot of them don't know where to find them. And so then they do go to teachers, pay teachers, which, you know, if you've got some money from your school district to go there, you know, whatever. But let's get some free ones. Let's talk about what makes them good. And maybe in this last month, it'll give you something you can try and have a little fun, even like your TikTok one, I think. Or you have an Instagram. You have a TikTok one. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yes, I do. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And we're going to be talking about that too. So yeah, we've got lots and lots of good stuff. We're going to walk you through the process of how to make them. We're going to also talk about some places that you can find them too. So I want to say a quick hello to some of the folks that are here. There's Tim Riley, a name I'm very familiar with out on Twitter. Good to see Tim here today. Justine is here. She's from Alberta, Canada. We get some good representation from the Canadians in these videos. I'm very impressed. So Dalton is here. He's been in on a couple of these. So there's Jamie from Sumter, South Carolina, another familiar face. Yeah, absolutely. Tanya is here from Minnesota. Will you jump into the chat and tell me how you pronounce that? I would love to make sure that I get that right, because I think I've done this a couple times. Melanie's here from Orange, Texas. Good to see you here. Tracy is here from Western New York. Then there's Melanie from North Carolina. She's been in on lots of these videos, so it's good to see her. Stephanie Silva finally caught us live. Yay. She's from San Antonio and has caught my my online distance learning modules. If you're curious about what she's talking about, let me throw this little banner up down here. I have this free Remote Learning 101 course that's available right now. Actually, it's just going to be available. I'm going to leave it up with more than 2 hours of video footage and PDF planning guides and all sorts of good stuff. So if you want to check that out, ditch.teachable.com is the place to go to find that. So we got a couple of other people I want to shout out. Oh my goodness, there's a bunch of you all here today. Felicia is here from Minnesota. We've got Rosalina from Clovis, California.
I'm from Clovis, California. Did you know that?
Get out.
No,
I didn't realize that. That's like, wow, that's near Fresno, isn't it?
It's like Fresno. It's the same thing.
Yeah. Okay. Dina's here from New Hampshire. We've got Dr. Goldman from Columbus, Ohio. Good to see you. Wesley from Madison, Indiana. Another Hoosier in the house. Barbara, a Spanish teacher from Portugal and a Spanish English teacher. Good to see you. Pam Cadwalder is here. We've got Karonda Herring from North Carolina, Yara from Arizona. Deborah's here from Oklahoma. There's my daughter, Cassie. She has joined. Hi, Cass. Tanya is how she says it. There it is. Very good.
So it's like
thanks.
My friend.
Yep. Yes, absolutely.
So Tanya. She says
she does.
Tanya. Okay. So she's okay. We'll remember that.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So let's dig right into this. It's good to see so many of you here. So here's what we're talking about. We're talking about templates. And what we're not talking about is basically like digital worksheets, you know, the ones where you fill in the correct answer, or you, you give the multiple choice and you do that digitally instead of on a piece of paper. And really, Holly, when it comes to doing templates, online digital templates like graphic organizers or whatever, those are very much a different thing from digital worksheets, wouldn't you say?
Very different, because they are kind of like a basis for creativity and having kids, giving them, like Tanya likes to call it, my friend Tanya likes to call it creative constraints. Like, you can't just tell a kid, go make a project, and hope it comes back good, because we have seen that with iMovies. But templates give us this place where kids can create and show you their learning, but with those creative constraints.
Yep, absolutely. So what I love about templates is that I think whenever they're used best, they're a way to walk students through a way of thinking. Instead of just asking them to recall certain answers to things, it's a way of walking them through thinking or letting them create something. And just like Holly said, they kind of create a set of constraints so that you're operating within the box. If you've heard people say, think outside the box, I always like to say, how can we be creative inside of the box? Because most of us have to live inside of the box anyway, So
need scaffolding.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. So by creating some of these templates, this gives us an opportunity to give kids that box that they can be creative inside of. And one of my absolute favorite tools to create a template inside of is PowerPoint. And so I'm going to share my screen on this.
And Google Slides, but we're really becoming fans of PowerPoint recently.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to be displaying this on PowerPoint, but you can certainly do this on Google Slides too. And we'll talk about how you can do both of those. But for this example here, the template that I wanted to show you, just as as a quick way to show you how it works, is to do a simple Venn diagram. And so I'm using PowerPoint here, and all I'm doing is just creating this template in one slide. Think of this one slide kind of like your digital sheet of paper. And all I've got on this slide right now is I've got two shapes. And so you can see here's one shape and here's another shape. And you can insert those just by going to insert shapes. And there's lots and lots of them. In fact, with these particular ones, I right-clicked on the shape and I changed the fill to have no fill. And then I changed the outline, made the outline 6 points so that it was nice and big. And then I just overlap the two of them. And this is kind of the cool thing about making these templates digitally, is that you can make a lot of it with lines and shapes and text. There's a lot of it that you can put together. And so basically what students do is they put their text on top of these shapes. So we might even add like a little text box up at the top with some with some instructions. You could even put a text box up here with some instructions so that they've got it, or you could always put that in your learning management system. And then we give them a place to put their learning. And so this works super well for all different types of graphic organizers. Like, for instance, you've got your, your Venn diagrams, your KWL charts, your fishbones, your, any of that stuff, your Frayer models. You can build a simple version of that in something like PowerPoint or Google Slides, and then just share it out with your students, and they have a place to do that thinking, which kind of gets you outside of the whole like regurgitation fact recall thing. So just the idea behind these, Holly, this is definitely a tool that people could use in their remote learning, don't you think?
Yeah, and so we did a post, I did it, and then you kind of helped add to it early on when we started this kind of partnership. And it was around thinking routines. And those thinking routines could definitely be added into something like this. So one of them is called, I used to think, now I think. So maybe at the beginning of a chapter, I used to think that this character was bad, and now I think this. And it'd be so simple to put something like you just did with the, I used to think, now I think. And so those thinking routines fit in here perfectly too.
Yes. Totally agree with that. Now, I want to share with everybody a quick trick that you can use, because here's the thing that I found with some of these templates. You create something like this on PowerPoint or even on Google Slides, and the students get into it and they start wanting to type their things. This is one thing, this is another thing, and then this is what they share. That's kind of how the Venn diagram works, right? All of a sudden, somebody accidentally does this.
That happens. up and solve
Oh no, what has happened to my template? And they don't realize that Control Z will bring it back, or they accidentally delete one part of it, or they accidentally delete one of the text boxes, or, there's a number of different things that, that they can do to kind of mess all of this up. And so wouldn't it be nice if we could take some of these things and lock them so that students couldn't accidentally move them around? This is sort of a neat ninja trick that works in PowerPoint and it works in Google Slides. And so I'm going to show you how to do this. So let's look at the parts in our very, very basic Venn diagram here that we've got that we want students to type on and the parts that we don't want students to type on. So basically we want them to type in these text boxes, right? Those are the things that we want students to work with. But the things that we don't want them to move around are these two shapes, right? We don't want them to move those around. So if we could lock those into place, that would be really nice. Here's the simple trick that you can use to do that. First of all, I'm going to take my 3 text boxes and I'm just going to delete them. I actually cut them. I used Control X to cut them because I may paste them back in a little bit. But what we do is we take the parts that we know don't need to be moved. This is like the framework, the stuff that stays in place the whole time that we don't want students to change. We take all of that and we're going to save this slide as an image. Let me walk you through how to do that in PowerPoint real quick. I hit File, Save As, and I'm just going to pick a place to save it. This is going to be Venn diagram background. And then I want to change the type to a PNG file. You could also do as a JPEG file. Either one of those works. That's the kind of image that you want to, either one, you want to save it as an image, right? Mm-hmm. Because think about it, an image, if you save that slide as an image, can you move things around on an image?
No.
Right. So they're locked into place. Like if we took a picture of me right here, it's like you can't just take my glasses or my nose and move them around on a picture. It's the same way with this, we lock them into place. So I'm going to hit Save. And it's going to ask me, which slides do you want to export? And I'm going to say just this one. I want to just save this one picture or just save this one slide as a picture. And so then it's saved as a picture. And so what good does that do if it's a picture, right? So I'm going to take these 2 shapes off of here. And now I hit right click and I'm go to Format Background. And within Format Background, we want to do a picture. And then we're going to insert the picture from a file, and we're going to go find that picture. Got to remember where I saved it.
Oh my gosh, Matt, this is the best because I do this with Google Slides and drawings, but you're bringing this is amazing. I didn't know this. You can totally do this in PowerPoint too. And so now look at this. I'm going to try to click and move that little shape around, and look. It's not doing anything. I'm clicking and I'm trying to drag it and it's not doing a thing because it's saved as an image in the background. And so now look, I hit paste. Oh, look, all of my text boxes are right back there. So now the students get this version of the template is the one with the, whoops, I must have accidentally hit A, but this gives them the version with just the text boxes. And so now we've eliminated a whole bunch of the error by doing it this way. So that's, yeah. So now you can even start to think, well, now that we know this is kind of how these templates are built, you start to let your mind sort of go and think, what other kinds of templates could I create? What things could I lock in the background? This is kind of like if you were going to the photocopy machine, you make the photocopies and that's all the stuff that stays. But then the stuff that your students write, that's what you put in there as a text box. And so you start to think like, what are the kinds of things that you can make with these? So I'm going to open this up to everybody that's watching this in the, just watching this live. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. I just saw that come in, Paula. That's really good. You could definitely use the mask. That's just another way to do it. And that's a really good one too. Melanie says, I love the save as picture feature in PowerPoint. And I never thought to use it as a background, right? See, there you go. So if you use that as a background, really with anything in PowerPoint, that's going to lock it in the background. And actually real fast here, I want to show you an example of what this could look like in Google Slides. So if you're a Google person and you want to be able to do this
in slides, basically what you do, this is kind of a spoiler here because this is an example of a template that I want to share with you later. But you make your slide the way that you want. And then when you want to save it for the background, you go to File, Download, PNG, and it says PNG current slide. And so if you do that, it's going to download that one slide as an image, and then you can just stick that in as a background. So that's another way to do it right there. So Holly, let me ask you, whenever we do something like this, if we were to create templates where we can lock certain things in the background, but give students the opportunity to like type in the text or whatever, where does your mind start to go? And everybody that's watching this, if you're watching this live, please type into the comments the other kinds of templates that we could create. We'll throw some of those onto the screen, but where does your mind go, Holly?
So it goes two places. It goes first to like thinking maps and graphic organizers, but it also goes, because I taught middle school, and middle school is where my brain always is. It goes to what you've done with the TikTok, the Instagram, the Facebook, not having them go there, but kids, I watch them do it when I said something about Instagram, or I used to say Snapchat. They'd be like, what? We can use Snapchat with Flipgrid? My God, you're the best teacher ever. And I'm like, yeah,
right.
Sound ready. But all I was doing was like bringing in what they love. And so that's where my mind really goes.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with you. And so Holly was just talking about how you could use some of the different social media in a template. I've done some of this, and I want to show you some of the examples. First, I want to put Connie's comment up here. Chemistry and the reaction chains. Ooh. Yes, absolutely. So yeah, you can lock certain parts in the background and then have the movable text. And there's actually a way to make other movable pieces on this too. I'm going to show you an example of that here in just a second. So real fast, I wanted to show you all I wanted to show you something right off of my blog, because I'm kind of a big fan of making these templates, and I have put a whole bunch of them out onto my website for free. Like free. Oh, and Terry is saying, please show a TikTok. Please show me the TikTok example. That one's coming. I've actually got it saved right up here. It's in this tab right here. So I'm getting to it. So, but I wanted to show you this, this page on my website. And so basically over the years, I have started making a whole bunch of these slide templates that you can just assign directly to your students. The great thing about them is if you find somebody else's slides, like we've got in this, I'm still getting used to which way I'm supposed to point.
I know.
But if you find some like this, an example of somebody else's slides, all you've got to do is just make a copy of it. And then you have that copy and you can go assign that out to your students in your learning management system. And so inside of this, take a look at some of these things that I've turned into templates that you can assign your students. For instance, Snapchat games. I don't know if you've ever played any of these Snapchat games on, they're like the overlays or the filters, and then some of them turn into games. I saw some of those and I thought, man, some of these could make really good learning activities. So I made, interactive slide templates that you can assign your students. By the way, this link down at the bottom of the page, ditchthattextbook.com/templates, that's where you can go get all of these. They're all available right there for free. Sometimes I like to make a joke of, oh, and you can find these on my Teachers Pay Teachers account. Just kidding. They're all for free.
But I just want to say, all the teachers right now, after this is over, who are going to go down the template rabbit hole, I'm going to be there with you.
Yep, absolutely. I made an interactive notebook one. If you've ever, my wife used to be big into the interactive notebooks and like the little, what do they call those notebooks? They're not steno notebooks. They're comp notebooks, composition notebooks. That's right. Yeah, people love that. I did a sticky note brainstorming one where you have like unlimited sticky notes that you can pull onto different whiteboards. That's another Snapchat one. Probably my favorite one. I really like these. These are infographic templates. And so you can drag these icons onto your screen and build out infographics just with these templates that I've got available. And so those are pretty cool too. This is one of my favorite ones right here, Instagram stories. I recreated the experience of creating Instagram stories on this template. And so if you've ever done Instagram stories, it's basically just, pictures and video clips of somebody's day. I looked at that one time and I was like, hey, that would be a really good formative assessment task. And so you download this template and students are able to add images and add little video clips and turn it into a way to show what they know. Which is kind of cool, right?
Yeah, this is incredible.
Yeah. Okay. There's the TikTok one. This is the one that, this is the one we keep talking about. So, and so this kind of shows you what the page looks like. And see, the reason I built this TikTok one is, I know, cute puppies, right? Those are actually our puppies. We had puppies for a little while. Yeah. Yeah. But, with this, part of the reason I did this is because so many kids are excited about TikTok right now. And if we want to use TikTok and learning, we don't have to have the TikTok app. Let's just recreate that experience in a slide deck. This is one of the central ideas in my new book, which actually, as of the recording of this video, just dropped today on Amazon. My book
said they bought it in the thing.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I bought it today, by the way.
Oh, really? How about that? That's cool. Thanks. Yeah. So the book is called Tech Like a Pirate. And so this is one of the things that I talk about in the book. So anyway, let's take a look at this template real fast. I'm going to click get the template. And whenever you're working with a Google file, sometimes if somebody sets this up to force you to make a copy, you just hit this make a copy button, and then it makes a copy of that template that you can assign to your students. And so what's cool about this is that you've got a variety of different versions of this template, which you're going to see in just a second after this all loads up. And what students can do, let's use this one, for instance. What students can do is they can throw a video into this frame, and now all of a sudden their learning video looks like it's a TikTok video. Or what they can do is they can take a picture and they can stick that picture, that they can actually stick that picture behind this frame, and it will frame it up real nicely as if it's on the phone that you can see there. The way that I did this was I basically just rebuilt the entire TikTok interface with icons and shapes and text. That's it. I just looked at a phone that had TikTok on it, and I go, okay, what's on the screen right now? We've got the user profile. Okay, and then I just went to the Noun Project, which you can find at thenounproject.com.
And teachers get a free subscription with your email account from school.
Oh, I didn't realize that. That's awesome. Wow. So I go there to find these icons. And so I started dropping these on here because those were those icons looked like the user interface. And then I rebuilt the bottom part that had all of the different little buttons. And then down here, it talks about what the song is and who the user is. And so I basically just built all of that stuff to be a template in this case, it's slides. Now, if you get this template and you want to use this in PowerPoint, you go to File, Download, and you can download it as a PowerPoint file.
So everyone can use this. There's no school anywhere. And you could do it as a PDF even and put it into Keynote if you needed to.
Totally. Oh, totally. You could do that. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Felicia just said, that's a lot of work. And it was at first, but here's the reason that I thought that it was worth the work. First of all, it was worth the work because I wanted to share it with all of you. And I knew that you might use it with your students. But secondly, this is something that can be reused over and over and over again. So you could reassign them this same template later and the content changes, but the template stays the same. So even if you decide that you want to make something like this, it's going to take you a little while. This is something that you can continually reassign to students. So if you want to use something like this, here's what you do. Basically, you're going to take this template and you're going to grab a link to it. So if you're using something like Google Slides, you want to just copy a link. In this case,
PowerPoint, easy smeezy.
Yeah, exactly. And so I'm going to make it anyone with the link can view this. And so I get a copy of it. And then I'm going to switch over to my learning management system. Now, if you are using PowerPoint, you're going to hit the well, this is one way to do it. You can hit the share button, and then you can grab the link off of the share button, which you can get right here if it's, if it's saved online, and then you can paste it into your learning management system. Now, if you're using Microsoft Teams, all you've got to do is just pull this template out of your OneDrive and assign it to an assignment in Microsoft Teams. Same way with Google Classroom. If you're using Google Classroom, you just go attach this file, pull it out of your Google Drive, and you attach it and you make it anyone, or make a copy for anyone. So anyway, that's basically how you assign these kinds of things. So anyway, the examples that we've got here, I wanted to show you one more time. There's a whole bunch of them that I've got on my website that you can download and use. And of course you can use those for free. Holly, what are you thinking? Right. I feel like I've kind of monopolized this whole conversation. What are you thinking?
Because this is great, but I just want to say Dalton coming at us again with that. I use talk with my middle school students. Like, I don't know, Dalton, if I ever am at a conference and you're there, please come up and say hello, because everything Dalton puts in these chats is like so good.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. I'm starting to look back through some of these. Sorry, I got kind of on a roll presenting here and I wasn't looking at this stuff. Donald saying social studies and timelines. Yes, absolutely. In fact, I think I've got if you go to my website, ditchthattextbook.com, and you search the blog for the word timelines, I think I may have a template on there about that particular thing. So that's good. This one, template rabbit hole. How true is that statement? How many of you are going to be like going down the template rabbit hole after all of this?
And Terry asked, and she's next after Dalton, now what? What do you do? So for the person who's new to it, they open that template, they put the video in. She's asking what's next, which I think is an easy answer, but I'll let you answer.
Yeah. So as far as the video, what you're going to do is you're going to record the video with something. So of course, if kids have their cell phones, do kids have cell phones these days? I think a lot of them do. So you would have them record the video. And of course, with TikTok, one of the things is that they will record it like this. They'll record it up and down instead of side to side, portrait instead of landscape. So they record their video, and then they can insert that video into PowerPoint or into Google Slides, and then they can just stick that video in there. In fact, if you look on my screen here, I can show you right down here. I've got an example of what that might look like. I better turn that comment off real quick. So I took a video right here where it was portrait. It was up and down, and then I just stuck it right in here. And now all of a sudden it actually kind of looks like a TikTok video. So that's how I would do that. Do you think that answered it, Holly?
Yeah. And then when the kids have theirs in there, that's how they turn it in, because it's in the slide deck and they each have their own one.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Absolutely. So Sally says, here's how you can share a TikTok with your students. Oh, okay. I thought that was something else. Suzanne was saying number lines. You could totally do this with number lines too. 10 frames for math. Definitely. I mean, there's lots and lots of ways that you can do this. Now I want to blow your mind and show you one more length that you can take this to. And so I'm going to switch this over to.
I don't know if we're ready for it. Our minds are already blown.
I know. Well, I'm going to blow them again. So just be prepared. Okay. So this is my interactive notebook template that I created. And if you look over here in the thumbnails, you'll notice that some of these, like this one in particular right here, I know you might not be able to see it. It says labeling an image. And this page looks pretty boring. It looks like it's just a blank page with some text in the middle of it. And you may be looking at this and going, that doesn't make much of a template. That's not a very good template. But if you click on it, you notice that there is all of this stuff off to the side. See, here's the other thing. This is sort of the superpower when it comes to making one of these templates in PowerPoint or Google Slides, is that you can drop things off to the side that you want students to be able to drag on there. So for instance, see, this says labeling an image. Let's see if I can. Okay, this is protected view, so I can't. Oh, wait, I'll just enable the editing. I'm going to try. See, I'm kind of doing this on the fly here. I'm going to try to insert a picture here.
PowerPoint. In Google
real fast.
You have it.
Yeah. So this is kind of.
So while you're doing that, I'll say the number lines, that's perfect, right? You put a line and have the kids drag in their numbers.
Yep, absolutely. I just pulled this picture up, by the way. This is Dave Burgess, the author of Teach Like a Pirate, because I just published Tech Like a Pirate. It was in one of my emails. And so what you can do is you can take one of these arrows, which, by the way, I got just by inserting it as a shape. And you'll notice down here, there are the block arrows. See, look. And I add one of those in there, and then you can, of course, see, look, I'm going to make a new one. And then within them, if you double click it, here's some text. And so now they become almost like little labels, right? So use this arrow to label. I can drag this one in, which, by the way, you'll want, do you see how it went behind my picture? We just want to right click it and bring that to the front. And so that is Matt. And then we bring this one over here. Again, I'm going to right click and bring it to the front, and that is Dave. Now imagine if your students have an image and they're able to go and explain the different parts of the image with some of these arrows. You know, that starts to give you lots of options. Let me give you another one, movable vocabulary. We create 4 different categories for sorting, and then we put the vocabulary words in here. And then we drag the vocabulary words into the different categories.
That this is a big seller. Whatever this template is, someone has made it and is selling it for lots of money on Teachers Pay Teachers. And it's free here.
Hopefully somebody hasn't taken mine and copied it and decided to sell it on Teachers Pay Teachers, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So let's look at a couple of other ones. Digital diorama or a map. So imagine, and this is one where you've got a bunch of little icons, and you can pull these onto the screen and see what it says over here is use the icons, use shapes, lines, text, image to recreate a map or create a digital diorama of a scene, add lots of details. And then what's neat about this too is students can add a text box to describe what they've made up here, or check this out.
Or press record.
Yes, absolutely. That's right. Tell us about that, Holly.
Or in Google Slides and in PowerPoint, there's the ability to add audio. So once you've created it, please don't forget this important step of press record and tell me why. So I can understand the thinking behind it. Like I said this in many of our things, I'm going to buy a t-shirt that says press record and tell me your thinking, because that's where the power is.
Yep, absolutely. We were just talking about number lines. Check this out. Coordinate plane. If we want to graph something on an XY axis, we can go drop those in. And then, of course, here's a text box where you can describe in words what's happening on that coordinate plane. You've got a Likert scale, which is kind of like a number line. So this is kind of like, do you like it? Do you not like it? And then you can use the text box.
That was.
Yeah.
Likert. I didn't know what it was called.
That's what they call it. Yeah, it's a Likert scale. Yeah, absolutely. Shades of meaning. I got this one. This was an example I got from Tony Vincent, who has the blog learninginhand.com. Yeah, he's great. And so with this one, you can start with a certain vocabulary word and then have a whole bunch of other similar words and see how much is that word less like that word or more like that word. And you start to drag them into place.
And then record your thinking.
Right. Yes, exactly. Sticky note brainstorming. You can put a bunch of sticky notes into place. So all sorts of stuff that you can do here. I've got a scientific method one. I've got an engineering design process one. Now, part of the reason I'm showing you all these examples, 2 reasons. Number one, you can, of course, go right to ditchthattextbook.com/templates. You can go download this and use it yourself. But secondly, I want to show you what's possible. That's why I'm doing this, is I want to show you what's possible as far as the draggables, as far as writing the text in, as far as creating the background. I wanted to show you what you can make so that if you want to make something like this, you realize A, it's not that hard, and B, you have lots of options. So anyway, that's a whole bunch of the examples that I wanted to show you here. And of course, like I said, all of those examples you can find right down there, ditchthattextbook.com/templates. What do you think, Holly?
Can we bring up one other one? I'm doing this on the fly, and it's going to need to be your screen.
Yeah,
but,
totally.
Slides Mania, which I learned about from you and Carly. And
Yes.
Slides Mania is this woman, and if I get this wrong, you can correct me while you're going to get it. But Slides Mania is not an educator, but she makes these templates that she shares out with educators, I think, for free. And I just saw one on there about Time Magazine recently that you like you could do something around the COVID-19 and have kids filling out their own Time magazine that they create about their experience. And, you know, you got to be, you know, give kids the choice, because some experiences might not be something they want to talk about. But look at these. I mean, I freaked out when I saw this.
Yeah. Yeah. Take a look at some of the things that we got up here. We've got a choice board template, web app, weekly planner for distance learning with hyperlinks, simple weekly planner. There are a bunch of them. In fact, I want to show you over here on my blog. If you search for Slides Mania, she did a guest blog post with us. Paula, that's what her name is, Paula Martinez. We pulled 20 of our favorite templates from her site and linked to them, and then provided a whole bunch of lesson ideas. So for instance, let me scroll down through. There's all 20 of them right there. And you can get this by going to ditchthattextbook.com and searching for Slides Mania. And so there's a desktop organizer one that you can do. And then we've got lesson ideas to go with each one. A bulletin board for brainstorming. Potter theme. This one is good for sharing Genius Hour projects. There's a doodles theme for visual notes, kind of like sketchnoting.
Oh my gosh, with all the icons.
Gorgeous, isn't it? Isn't that cool? Digital notebooks. That looks familiar, right? Hers is prettier than mine, though. And then we've got another one that's good for digital notes. We've got one that's all about insert audio, because of course we've got the audio features in our slides as well. So you can find all of these, and you can download all of these, by the way, for PowerPoint and for Google Slides. She's got them for both.
Holy Toledo. This is how I have to know about the rabbit hole, because when Carly actually told me that you guys had written about her, and I went down the Slides Mania rabbit hole. It wasn't pretty. It took a couple hours.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, there's lots and lots of these there. So, you know, go to slidesmania.com, like it says at the bottom, or you can go to the Ditch That Textbook blog and just search for Slides Mania. And that's where you can find the 20 of them that we pulled out with lesson idea suggestions for all of them. Oh, look, Jen Lee's here. She says yes to the doodle. She likes that one. That's awesome.
It's the two of them, but yes.
Yes.
So we don't know which one, but.
Right. Exactly. So, anyhow, lots of options when it comes to templates that you can use with PowerPoint, or you could of course use it with Google Slides, either one. Share them with your students on your learning management system and make a copy for each one of those students so they get their own, they can go work on it, and then they can shoot it right back to you.
No, Matt. They work on it, they make their own, they press record, and then they shoot it back to you.
There you go. Yes, that's right. Because if we can hear them explain it and we can hear it in their own words, that's huge. I totally love that. So, all right. Wonderful. Anything else as we wrap up, Holly?
No, but that was, I think people really enjoyed this training. Or I wasn't even a training, it was just us talking about templates. And it's so perfect for May, because you can do some of these fun projects as you close up the year. So I think this was exactly what was needed.
Yeah, totally. I also wanted to share real quick that I have an entire module on how to make templates like this on my Remote Learning 101 course. So if you haven't, yes. So if you haven't signed up for that Remote Learning 101 course, you can just go to I'm still bad at this, ditch.teachable.com, and that will get you signed up for that. And you can take the entire course. There's an entire module, like I said, that teaches you more on how to do this. So if you want some more, there's some more. So, and
there's one question, Justine, I think, I gotta find it so I can see that. She said, I missed it. What are they recording on? And in Slides, there is the insert audio option. There's also something called talking comment that you can do as a comment on the side if you would like. And that's a Chrome extension, both for Chrome and for Edge. And inside of PowerPoint, you have the ability to record as well, not on the online version, but on the app. Which I'm learning. There's differences.
Yes, absolutely. So, all right, excellent question. So I think that pretty much wraps us up. So feel free to go back to ditchthattextbook.com/templates if you want to find any more of those. Download them for PowerPoint, download them for slides, whatever you use, go for it. If you like these videos, be sure to subscribe to the Ditch That Textbook YouTube channel. Just click that subscribe button. And then you can also find me and Holly on Facebook. We're going to be doing live videos. Search for Ditch That Textbook on Facebook, or on Facebook. What do we search for you, Holly?
Facebook.com/groups/Infused Classroom. You can just look up Infused Classroom. You'll find it.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. All right. So if you joined us live, thanks. We really, really enjoyed spending some time with you. If you caught this on the replay.
On your book, Matt. Oh, wait. So you can't even get it in the screen. And it's not a champagne glass, but it's.
Oh, okay. There we go. We'll do a coffee toast. That's right. Ooh. All right. Thanks. Today is my book birthday, by the way. So Tech Like a Pirate just came out as of the recording of this video. So thank you for that. Thank you all for joining us. And we hope that you're doing well. And we hope this has been helpful. And we'll see you on the next video.